Welcome back. Sorry about that. Try this again. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is NutRaisin. We shall be playing more PLO 20 exclusively on RunItOnce today, I'm happy to say, because we shall be having enough action. You can already tell we right now have 29 entries. I'll be adding 5 more. And all of that is because, well, not all of that, but a good part of that is because we have 80% rakeback happening at PLO 20 and No Limit 20 until noon tomorrow, I believe. Incidentally, there are also 6 entries at PLO 50. More is surprising and awesomely, there are 7 entries at PLO 200. Well, playing for 10 times the buy-in, we're not quite there yet. Maybe one day. In the meanwhile, we make do with PLO 20, where we took the games for 4 buy-ins. At the end of last stream I said it was 3, but I still have some issues with the cashier. I seem to be in the minority, or pretty much seem to be the only one who experiences these. But yeah, they sometimes make it tough to tell how much we're up. Numbers are okay once I log out and log back in, but while playing I sometimes have some issues here and there. It's not a big deal. Money never disappears, and my trust in RunItOnce is implicit not only in that regard. Nope. Okay, that all looks good. Got 2 more tables and then we're all set, playing on 6. Just the way I like it. Ace King 6-5. Looks like a decent starting hand right off the bat there. Ace King 6-5. I believe I still want to 3-bet this. So I get double suited aces on another table. Get raised again now. Alright, we'll let it go. So here we flop the middle pair. We don't have any straight blockers. Who we're up against? Under the gun. Under the gun shows up with some 9-8s. Not that many. I'd say on the whole it's more king-queen type of things. Exit 2. I'm gonna bet here. He wants to get the money in, yeah, it's not ideal, but he might be doing this with a pair and an open-ender. So that's the risk I kind of knowingly took when I decided to c-bet here. Yeah, unfortunately he gets a good card. We cannot draw out. So you had a pair and the wrap, no heart. Well, 1 heart. Makes sense, I guess. Too bad. So having thrown our hat into the ring 6 times, we're now looking at 35 entries. This one is a decent question. 2, 3. Yeah, closing the action big blind. I don't really want to let this go, I believe. And not playing the aces with the heart draw as aggressively is certainly an option. It's one I apparently don't take all that often. Here we raise the button. So far so good. No, he's out kicked in the end, really? That's very funny. The hamsterman always knows what time it is, because when the hamsterman is here, it is time to go nuts. Deep indeed. Welcome back, my friend. Hope you had a very, very good weekend. Be it either relaxing, exciting, or whatever you chose to do. It was good. Certainly was on my end. And it's best described in one word: relaxing. Nope. We also, incidentally, had some really excellent tables this afternoon. Currently have no idea if the tables right now are good, but they, you know, at PLO 20, can't remember the last time we had like bad tables, really. Maybe playing 300 against Skippery. That wasn't maybe ideal, but other than that. The pure flush draw right now, giving us the double gutter. Also blocking the nuts a little bit. Okay. Keeps the doctor away. Good to see you, Chiching. Good to see you, Kippery, as well. Are we just meeting in chat, Kippery, or are you also fellow endorser of Nuts Deep? Are we also sparring off on the tables? I know, right, Chiching? That's actually, yeah. I should have remarked that myself, but it's an unusual time to see the hamsterman here. I like it. Did Discord notify a good thing you're mentioning it, because the bot somehow fell asleep. I don't know what's up with that. I have to do everything by hand, it looks like. Alright. Yeah, I have to figure out why that is. I did read something about I don't even, what bot am I using for that? The Twitch bot, huh? I mean, poses an interesting question here. Check 7-6. Can 3-bet this, I believe. Oh, so... yeah, we're not gonna fold. Coming over the top right away. There are certain boards we can fold on. This not being one of them. This is also not one of them. Gonna check. Can't see no fuse. I'll get on that in a moment. Come on, be nice. No, both. That flush draw covered. Nice hand. Yeah, I know that. That's Kippery right there. Randomly open Twitch, so it was time to go. Nuts. Deep indeed. That's a pretty nice run out. Should get us called a lot. Yes, of course, we're up against that 9. Looks like we're not. It's not kings either. Is it? Okay, played kings that close to the west, huh? Alright. In a 3-bet pot, I like what I see here. Can we win one? That's gonna be the question in this spot. Nope, we can't, because we're up against a Queen 8-8. So that's 3 buy-ins down the drain really quickly. It's not a good start. I don't see too much fault in what we did. It's just the way PLO is sometimes. Oh, well. Everybody going nuts deep. Or just going nuts out of the way. We go all in. Okay. If he feels that strongly about this part, I think we'll have to give it to him. First Kippery sightings. Up here as well, and I assume this is gonna Kippery. This is gonna be Kippery right across from us there. I don't assume, I know. Yeah, there you go. Who got all of these 3 buy-ins by getting lucky, SF? Nah, not really. Here we have position on you as well, that's good. Kinda deserved it after you got lucky left and right. Looks like we found each other on 5 out of 6 tables. How about the 6th then? Here Kippery has a slight positional advantage, otherwise he either straight across from us or we are sitting in position. We deserve that. Cha-ching, that's our way of finding each other on the tables. I spam the few emote and Kippery spams the puke emote. Then we know what's what. What's what right now is that we're starting off the session with a deficit of 3 buy-ins. I guess the one with the Queen 8-8 was a little bit weird. Getting caught by the Queen high flush draw there, but fair enough. Not quite. Leave this one be. Easy call, nice board. No, Cha-ching, the site is anonymous, so for Kippery, for example, at this table, Kippery might see me as with a different avatar and with a different name. Not might, will, does. We go 4-4-4 here. Well, that's a good one for us right now. Wow, we had a set and a nut flush draw. But we're not getting punished the 4th time in a row. That's good. The powers that be have some mercy. Or double pair, skipping off the flush draw. Then bet call on the flop there. Apparently that's the only way to go. Oh, yeah. To me, you guys are all nut. I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. Yeah, I wouldn't even have called a single bet here, to be honest. Not with the way this hand went down. Yes, Jijing, this is one of the trademarks of RunItOnce, that you are completely anonymous. And avatar and name are different on each table too. So if I'm, you know, Roy on one table, I'm going to be Edward on another one. Or something to that effect. Swing and a miss. That's fine, by the way. Bet calling there. Perfectly connected. We have a 10 high suit. Take that one down. You know what, I think I'll let it go. It's an aggressive player. Oh, RunItOnce retweeted my tweet regarding that we're online now. That's awesome of those guys. They are amazing. Absolutely nothing happening for us. Are we watching this? I guess so, because there's also another interesting spot happening. Wait, where is this table? Over there. So there is gonna be another, well, there's this stream. There's gonna be an afternoon stream tomorrow, and I think that is gonna be it for roughly 7 days. Potentially 8 to 9, hopefully not 9. But yeah, I don't think I can do a nightly stream tomorrow. And I could switch around, I could forego the afternoon stream and do a nightly stream maybe. Because I have to prepare one last few things for the DJ gig on the weekend. Maybe I'll do that in the afternoon. Wait, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? I'll figure it out. Get raised here. Well, it's not going to be interesting. We're just going to fold. Aces, however. As far as turns go on this board, this is that's the best, basically. Oh. Right on. Make a hand against Kipper on here. Don't really see what much that caused us that we beat. I certainly wouldn't have folded. Oh, I don't want to speak in absolutes. Maybe against the pot size I might have found a fold. Ching, that is exactly correct, but on the other hand, you can have your hands downloaded 24 hours after they have been played automatically. You can also ask support to send you all of the hands you ever played on the site by email, with the stipulation that they have to be at least 24 hours old. Curious, is it really a flush with the full house? No, it's neither. It's betting the jacks and then filling up. Nice. Pretty decent board. That's a pretty decent board indeed. So that'll be a 3-bet, also a 3-bet call. 29. Wonder if this is ever gonna be raise. Might be. It's just a board that's very nice to see bet on, I feel. Check, potentially bluff the river. Alright. Wait down here. Call on a turn. Not getting raised by the wheel, we are getting called by the wheel. This time we're good, however. Against the pot size, we're going for the check raise. And that one was splitting up. And Kippery in relatively rough shape. At least to win the pot. 80% rakeback splashy hours. Let's see if we get to witness, possibly even win a big one. Is sweet, always exciting. Jack 5 sounds good. I'm not sure without a heart if I do want to call here. Yep. Pick it behind. Not up against kings? No, we're not. So Kipri has opened up his ranges quite a bit. From what I've seen. It's a complete raw game. Yep, exactly. It's a good way of putting that, I guess. And giving us a gutter to the straight flush now. Give us money, the fact that the board pairs. Yep, so it does. Okay. Still beat some hands. Not the overpairs. Alright. It's maybe not the worst spot for a bluff. Nope. A lot of noping going on, not a playable hand among them. Really, even though we are sitting on 6 tables. This one, if it gets folded... Sure. Okay. It's a gutter and a flush draw. Not playing this one for a 3-bet. Against the 3-bet, there's not much we can do. Letting it go. I'm ditching table 6 there. We're 3-handed, and we have Kippery to our left, and we have another loose aggressive player to our left. That's not a great table to be on. We do get one last hand there, and this is splashed hand. We flop a full house. It's a little bit of I know, he knows that I know stuff going on here. Could be probably well aware that I'm not doing this with, I'd say, jacks or better. You might exploit, but be that as it may, I'll give up on it. Uncle Schnitzel! Good to see you here at this hour. Good to see you indeed. We're having a rough start to the session. We're down, I'd say, roughly 4 buy-ins, which means for the day we're breaking even somewhere around. And lost 3 buy-ins pretty quickly in spots where I couldn't do much about it. And that's where I can't really be too mad about it, about them with myself either. So, just the way PLO is sometimes. We'll do our best to turn around. 80% rakeback might help in that regard. Maybe a big splash finds us. Big one happening here. That was set in the end, alright. Big one here as well. Yeah, a lot of hands like these currently we need to fold. That's fine, we had a pretty decent run at the beginning of the stream, even though those ultimately turned out to be bad for us. And the first stream certainly saw us running quite nicely indeed. With bin, bet, pot size re-raise, and a call. Curious. No, he leads into the flop 3-better. Wow, what? Okay. Huh. That's quite a 3-bet on the flop. Prepare an open-ender. The rainbow board. Start off with a check. Not folding. That's pretty nice. And doesn't fit our... It really doesn't hit our small blind 3-betting range all that well. I'm fine going for another check. And for the check raise now, putting it all in. I think, right? Yeah, because it's gonna be tough to get money out of him or her on the river, I think. Because we can't check the river. Open to check call or check raise, whatever. Yeah, I think that's fine. Get the fold there. Have another few decent spots for us for change. Here we return amazing. Quite sure we managed to turn that well. Top 2, take it down on table 2. Okay, Schnitzer is saying I can sense this big splash coming. You know what? I think I can sense it too. It's out there. It's waiting for us. And we are playing on all the PLO 20 tables, I think. A new table 6. Twitch on mobile is aggravating. I heard about that. Like, generally speaking, that Twitch on mobile is not the most enjoyable experience. Glad to see you got your nuts back. Gonna go with a smaller raise. It's a small splash, but a big pot. Everybody fighting for those 2 big lines in there. What's happening? Okay. Over here, fine hand to open pot with. Not such a fine flop. I mean, you know what? Against the big blind... How many king jacks is he gonna show up with here? Not that many. This gives us some additional equity. Gives us a gutter and a queen high flush draw, second up flush draw. What's the bug on iOS? Shit, really? That is annoying. It's gonna be a call. Hey, what do you know? Epic setting and skippery. I'm gonna raise it up right away. No? I thought against this bet sizing we see a lot of calls. Historically speaking, we have. Means I can't watch Twitch at work. Double bummer. Damn, I heard the iOS version being a little bit more bug laden at the moment. King, Queen, 10, 7. Double suited, extra money in the middle. I think we want to raise this up. Flop, okay. Due to the extra money in the middle, we need to size up a bit, I believe. Ah, damn it. I didn't see there was a pot size bet on the turn. Flop and check, check. I shouldn't have called here on the turn. With the queen, we did take it down. And happy news, table 6 is filling up as well, so I'm not playing three-handed. Definitely good for me. This is pretty fine. Bring us to nuts with a redraw. To the uber nuts. Redraw confirmed here as well. What I'm betting of now? If Kippy raises, that would be nasty. It's not a bad spot if you flop something nice and you delay the raise to the turn. No? The YOLO fold. Alright. Oh. It wasn't quite a full raise. That's the reason why I called. Alright. Yeah, we'll check it. I think we win it a decent amount of the time, but what are we getting called by? Queens, tens, something like that. €2 in the middle. We limped after the we limped along after the first limper. Yeah, certainly want to call. Was briefly considering if raising has any merit. Don't think it does. Make it double suited. And yeah, sure. In a big pot size bet would be 802. Not counting the €2, the 10 BB and splash money. And there's nothing to do. Nothing going on for us in great amounts. Nope. Splash pot here, offsuit queens. Maybe if Kipri folds. Nah. We do, however, get aces on the table. 8. Let's just call these. It's not horrible. Obviously prefer to have a heart. Alright. We have a €2 splash. Take it down on the ace. On the queen 4 reboard, whatever that was. So here we're gonna check here more aces. More importantly, down here is where it gets interesting. Take it down. The aces flop pretty alright. Here, man, I'd love to keep fighting for this flop, but I should. Wow. So here I see bet the flop. Because why not? So I couldn't dandy. We take it down with the nut flush here. This becomes a... We take it down with the full house on table 6, you saw, and this becomes a good question with a heart. I think without it, I call here a lot. With a heart, we'll raise here a lot. So let's do that. We're also potentially free-rolling him, or probably free-rolling him for a better straight. If he does have the same hand, I mean. No? Oh. Just taking it down instead. Down to 300 on table 6 again. A little bit of a bummer. The min raise, really. Alright, we have some connectivity going on. Okay. Any no limit 20 games going on? Yeah. People are using... We're taking advantage of the 80% rakeback splashy day. On no limit 22, 19 entries there. Good. Happy to see it. No, Kipri? No, wait, I was gonna say Kipri is gonna go with the min raising here? I don't know, okay. But he didn't, he just called the min raise. there, playing a decent one. We block anything? No. We shall never know. Wow, did he just go for the check raise here? Let's check out the hand history for that. Eli, huh? Well, not a check raise, just a raise. Yeah. Probably, as Phil would say, probably pretty cuspy right on the edge. Closing the action, let's see a flop. We see a top pair, it's something. Over here we see a middle set, also something. A single raise pot, if I will recall correctly, yes. Not blocking an ace, let's hope we can get a check raise in there. Checks around. Hoping for a good turn, yes, semi-decent. Does give us a gutter. We block draws, so if Leanie checks here, we might bet. If she bets, we're gone. That's for the full pot, this gentleman. I.e. Kippery. On the ace, Kippery had a wrap on the turn. Alright, takes it down. Gets pretty much snap called by Leanie. She show up with their queens. Alright, turned a set of queens. Get the fold, that's fine. So we block hands that we want him to have, like medium rundowns quite a bit. I got on all this points towards this being a check fold. Wow. Oh, that's also nice. Here, I cold called a 3-bet. That far is fine. Calling the 5-bet or the 4-bet was a clear mistake. Now looking back. Now there's so much money in there. We only have to flush draw 2 pair outs, albeit faint. Good often enough. Probably we're getting the right price to draw just to the flush. Of course, if our flush is dead, then so are we mostly. Let's gamble it up a little bit. Need an ace. No. Nice answer with the king, queen, queen, 9. Wow, Kippery is feeling it today. No denying that. Nice answer, nice hand. So from the flops onwards, that was a pretty loose play on my end. Did not get rewarded either. We take one off, get it in on some turns. A combo draws he could lead, like, dude, does he want to lead a combo draw here? Rather go for the check raise. It's more likely a top pair and a flush draw. And a little bit lucky there, no doubt. But worked out in the end. Phew. Easy's pretty nice. The full house. I don't know what was up with that accent. Please don't ask me about it. Wait, why did I just call here? I'm still thinking about the accent thingy, I guess. But pretty much everything that beats us still doesn't make it impossible that we're up against jacks or queens. If we get raised again, I'm very willing to let... Oh, hang on, that's... Yeah, you know, she had said last time she played a hand strongly, so... Yeah, need to let it go. I don't totally mind how this went, as in I... If I do mind the turn raise. This will be a squeeze. And we get to raise double suited aces. Nice ones too, with a queen and a 9. Spades and diamonds. Yeah, the money is gonna go in here. I think. Here I need to check fold now that we have a double pair. Kings. Against kings we're doing rather nice. Ah, the king's kinking in the 5-8. Wow, Kibari is playing some different ranges than normal for sure. Has been for a couple of days now. How much are you drinking, Kibari, these days? What happened? Nice hand there, nice takedown. Extra one in the middle. I think this is fine. Gonna be in position for the rest of the hand. The offsuit kinking 8-5, huh? Wow. How can your 3 pair lose? I don't know, I got a little bit lucky there. Serious lead, my friend. Here, Then let's go. Might be a better kicker. Is a king, really? Alright. Get a crying call by maybe 2 pair. Or lower set. Nope. King 5 deuce. Where's the button open? Yeah, with the suited ace. Do you want to call that? Let's check up on that. What would the matrix do? In the meantime, over here we flop a top pair. Pretty decent board for it, I'd say. Was it ace king 5 deuce versus the button open in the big blind? Too weak. King 5 deuce. No, completely fine. We check behind trip jacks there. On table 3 here, we'll check behind as well. And we're good. Versus everyone else I fold, versus me you call. Fair enough. Fair enough. King's over here, double suited aces over here. It's the starting hands. Kings take it down pre. Never get raised, oh joy. Sounds good to me. How does it sound to you? We bump it up to 710. That answers that. Going for the check raise. Over here we get 3-bet, that's not an issue with this hand, happy to call. That was suited king queen 9-8, not a great board. Take it down with the check raise, however. Ooh, wow. Big pot happening down here. 4 buy-ins in the end. Did they get it in for that much money pre-flop? What happened there? Yeah, they did. Wow. Don't do that, thank you. Would be my advice. It's pretty good, especially since it's not a good board for the undergun opener. At least it shouldn't be very often. Right on. Over here, I actually raised the flop. Go for sizing now, that because we have more straights here in the under the gun again. Way more on this board. And with this sizing, we might get him to fold on the river. Well, actually, it's maybe not that likely, but we do get him to fold on the turn. That's awesome. Maybe I'm thinking back about a hand we played against Liani earlier with the Queen 10 where we filled up 10s over Queens, I believe. A little bit earlier where I decided to raise the turn. Turns out I'm liking my fold a little bit less than I did before. This call maybe is a bit too loose for stand the gun, but anywho. Because Liani looks to me that she's overvaluating hands. Snap called the top set earlier on the river when Kippery made a straight. Didn't even think about it, just snapped it off. You should keep an eye out. Definitely not folding here. V-raise. Although no, raising, yeah, based on what I just said. Raising doesn't seem to be the right move, and that's an excellent turn. Wow. It is straight. The ace-high flush is what we're drawing to on top of that. The other spots. I raised, we're just gonna call. Yeah. Definitely raising here. What you got? Oh, you win it like this? Really? Wow. Now that one was just a little bit brutal. Top pair, open ender. Oh, €5 splash. Wow. Top pair, open ender. Let's see a turn then. Well, that was a nasty one to lose. The €5 splash, we flop a pair and an open ender. Decidedly nastier spot since we don't have any club covered. And we're 6 ways now. But the maximum bet size, well, it's actually not that small now. As much as I'd like to fight for this money, I think a saner mind has to prevail. Yeah. Somebody with a similar hand and a flush draw has us in horrible shape. There's just too many peeps left to act behind. Wait, how did you... Oh no, you won some sort of side pot there. Alright. Hmm. Aces and fours, decidedly happier hand. The suit in there as well. Top set for change. Change I definitely could get used to. And we fill up here, the aces take it down. Get called by. It's queen 10-8. Okay, so top pair with the top kicker. Sort of with the check, turn the open ender on top of our flush draw, and check here as well. For starters. Got 3-bet by Kippery, flop top 2. See if we can hold. So far so good. Shazam for change. Also a nice pot there. Cool. And what happened here? Called, alright. Pretty neat. Yeah, I was talking about Rainbow Kings. Totally different in this spot, Kippery. I had a suit! I was suited! The famous last words, man. Another €5 splash happening on another table. Our hand is so-so. We have a nice size suit there at least. Here we take it down. pretty decent. Yep, ain't folding. No joy. Oh, okay. That'll be interesting. Now. Oh, the other guy was a short stack. I was like, I don't recognize Skippery anymore, but that makes more sense then. Down here. I believe he took it down with the jacks, by the way. Double check. Yeah, we did. Seeing that it makes sense doing the splashy hours where splashes are more likely to happen. Well, do I want to reset this table? I don't particularly want to be honest. But it just makes sense. Like we're deep freeways. How about Katarina here? Means if a big splash was to happen, we're gonna go in for more than 2 buy-ins. Me particularly fancy that prospect. Nope. Ooh, do fancy that one. The ace is 8-4. Takes it down. Nope. So flop and check Stingray is pot. Kinda curious if you want to call now. Yeah, I think so. Take it down, right? Cool. Also very cool. And you bet fold. Yeah, I think so. Willie K, tight passive so far. Alright. Not count the 3-bet on here though. Would one be incoming? Turns out no. We blocked on a flush, have a gutter. Future straight blockers? We'll see. And now they might actually come in handy. Fair enough. And seeing that the cashier is a little bit weird, I have absolutely no idea how we're doing. I suspect we're down a tiny bit for the day, but I wouldn't know. I'm certainly down for the session. For the session we're down at least 4 or 5 buy-ins. And the previous session we were up 4. So yeah, maybe 1, 2 buy-ins down. 2 buy-ins is what it shows me right now, a little less than 1.5. Doubt that's correct though. Usually isn't. It's not while I have tablets open. Something weird is happening on my end there. We do, however, have 34 entries at PLO 20. That's way more than the entries you have at PLO. What's it called? PLO 50 right now. No limit. Unfortunately, no limit broke down to 1 table. No limit 20, I mean. Just the other stake where there currently is the 80% rake back. Super splash promo going on. Wow, that's a mouthful. Down? Yeah, flop so-so. Check and check folding. Should we see a bet? King 10 9 8. That's a good question. I got a solver perspective on that. A quick check. Alright. Nice turn. King 10 9 8. Versus under the gun. Perfect. The King 10 9 8, King 10 9 7 both get called, and these are the only King 10 hands that get played there at all. Like, whereas King and 10 are the highest cards, I mean. Oh, you're Willie there on that table, huh? No, if you down as Ellie here. That was you then. Alright. Fake news, apparently I have been grossly misinformed as to your identity on table 2. Similar hand, I wonder if it gets played in a similar way. I forgot to call here. Let's see. Yep. But in this case, only the 9-8. The 9-7 does not get played anymore. Check raising. Oh no, the flushing river? No, it was a flushing turn. There's only 1 Willie on our table, so I think we're just talking about the same hand. It was just not on the river. Was it? Oh, it was! You're right. It was. My bad. Okay. Call pretty quickly. Maybe we're splitting this. Nope. Turns out we're not. Have a top pair, a blocker, and most importantly than that, flush draw 3 ways. Make that 2 pair, no straights possible. Sweet. Hot diggity. One entries at PLO 20 now. I like it. Could we check raise the flop? King versus turned nuts. Wow, this. Oh no, I was gonna say this guy got lucky, but didn't really, in the sense that I thought he had. At first, I thought he had a gutter. Turns out he had that wrap. Usually a fold in the small blind at least, with the extra money. Let's give this a shot. Pair and a 10 high flush draw. And this will be a fun one. Splashed pot and a decent splash as well. Calling up here naturally. The 3 is kinda meh. Although this guy doesn't show up with overpairs a lot, so making 2 pair might still be good. Ooh, good thing we didn't hit that flush. Make the nuts here. I don't want to see a jack or a 10 rolling off for free. I do fear that we do get a lot of folds now, but that's what it is. Don't block any other high flushes, that's good. Not the king, not the queen high. And for a tiny splash, a big pot is developing. This is a good question. Is this... I don't terribly mind the call. Is this good enough for the raise? Small blind versus... What's up, small blind versus MP? I think make the 7 an 8, and that's fine. But I don't know. Ace King 10-9 is the cutoff. This one does not get played, turns out. Ooh, it's a nice turn. Down here we let it be. Alrighty. Certainly got some buy-ins back recently. It's actually pretty close to just open limping here. I don't know how horrible it would be. Again, in a splash situation, otherwise it's actually, I don't know what it is otherwise. Is it a raise? Is it a fold? Two pair and a flush draw. See, button 10-7-7-5. In a non-splash part, what's the move solver? 7-5. Move would be to raise. Fold. Cool. Two BB extra in the middle is not going to be enough for us to consider calling. Huh. Okay, that's pretty good. What do you have, queen, sir? So there's gonna be 10, there's gonna be 14. It's almost gonna be enough to shove. We're just on the river. We're just gonna call for that reason. If he has queens full, he might still raise it up. It's not so nice. Fair enough. Ace king to 9. If it gets full around, I mean open for sure. And I suspect with the king to 9 combo as side cards, it might actually be an open call, even though triple suited. Check it out. I will call it. I do want to see if the matrix agrees. Interesting board, giving us a top pair, blocker to the nut flush. So in the cutoff, it's king 10-9, triple suited. The dealio. And that's correct. The 10-8 would be an open, would be a raise fold. The 10-9 is indeed a raise call. Top 2, nothing to be sneezed at. Block the nuts by having the 10. You get value from a7, a6 sometimes, especially a7, a6 with like an 8 or a 5 in there. Blockers, so to speak. Really? Okay, we got away pretty cheaply there. Hey, I like it. Blind versus blind, raising this one up as well. We get raised again though. I think I'll throw it away. It's a pretty decent board. Deuces not that likely. And we block sevens. Cool. Right on. Nope. As an open, it's fine, but once somebody else takes the initiative there, I'm letting it be. That's pretty much true for the majority of the triple suited hand or the not ideally single suited hands. "49 entries at PLO 20 now, wow. Pretty amazing. What time is it? Almost midnight? Jeez. Good for RunItOnce. And we have aces on table 1. Been a while since we've seen aces. The treat as well. And of course we get an open limper right away. What the deuce? Alright, alright, alright. Jesus. Make the wheel, block the nut flush. Getting called by other flushes if we, or the straights for that matter, if we bet here in this tiny pot. We have to check. Go for the bluff down here. Bluff and check, check. We called the turn, and here not everybody has the 6-7 straight. He finds a call in the end. Good for you, my friend. With the ace-7 and the 9 blocker, right? I guess the 5 blocker as well, right? Yeah, makes sense. Ooh, it's not a big one, but it's a nice, you know, it's not a huge one, but it's a big one. Let me rephrase that. Good luck, everybody. 100 BB splash coming up. Nice. Yeah, looks like we are gonna play one with post-flop play. Flop the open ender. In the meanwhile, down here we flopped the nuts blind versus blind. So there's not many scenarios where we get to fold or where we find a fold here. Flop. So holding a 10 is nice. We block him having full houses. We get raised, we let it be. We have the backdoor flush draw as well. Backdoor royal flush, I guess. Could raise. Clean up some equity. A little bit tempting. Usually it wouldn't be. But with the extra money in here... wait! No! No! Okay, let's hope. We shall never speak of this again. That's clearly not what I intended to do. Yeah, good fold, Nut. Good fold. Oh, Lord. Red Nibbler, good to see you. Well, this session has been pretty ruddy. The first session today saw us flopping and playing well, I think. Which is always a nice combination. And the second session, I can't quite tell you since my cashier is sometimes acting up a little bit. I think we're either down a buy-in or we're breaking even for today. No, ignoring the potentially €20 misclick here. Oh, Lord. Out of all the buttons I could have hit. But yeah, the session's gone well. The first few binds that we lost in this one, Red Nibbler, couldn't really do much about it. Since then, I made a few mistakes, not too many. Quite frankly, not quite happy with how I played. And I just love the sexy golden background. Lots of happy, or at the very least exciting memories connected to that one by now. Oh, would have made the straight too. Let's hope somebody have hearts. S hearts. Ah, F me. Yeah, that was well done. Excellent job there. Excellent job by me. Oh, lordy lord. We shall never speak of this again. I think I've had that before. So who the hell are you on this table? Earlier you claimed you're Billy. I'm getting confused, Skippery. That's a nice turn, and that'll be a paddling. It's gonna be a race, and it's gonna be a race fold. Billy on any other table that you could have confused that with? Look like it. Killing Birds! You're always very generous when you come to the stream. Thank you very much for the bits. And huge shout out to you, Killing Bird, one of the channels that I like to raid once my streams are over, because he's usually on during this time since he plays on ACR from somewhere in America, I believe, and plays tournaments on his channel. Good bloke, has a fun channel. Do check him out. He ran deep and took down a huge tournament recently for. Was it 1K or was it a couple of Ks? How quickly they forget Killing Bird, huh? I know, Kippery, I know. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't recall, sorry. I'm gonna have my congressman answer for that one ready and prepared. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, at this point in time, I can't recall. I don't know what your comment there is in reference to, Kippery. Gets the small blind, checking here pretty much always. That's a pretty decent turn. Only better queen would have been the queen of diamonds. Sick fold, yeah, right, Heat, I know. Actually, I don't, damn it! That's why I'm not in Congress. Can't keep my story straight. The story here is that we river the nuts. Big fold, yeah, I can't be too careful. There's a range balancing fold. Or insert any expression that sounds good to you here. Basically. Yep, that went well. How have your streams been treating you so far in November, Killing Bird? Red Nibbler. Duh! Yeah, duh! Confirmed. That's a proper Homer Simpson moment right there. Oh! I think they should just take away the fold button in big splashes. Yeah, I'm gonna demand a refund. It's clearly what should happen there. Sick fault. Big pot happening. What's the deal? Aces against aces. I think aces will win. Yep. We have a note on this guy? Ah, right. We set to his left earlier. I remember you. He was the guy who put in 2 buy-ins with ace, king, king, 4 double suited or something of the like. Pre-flop too. It was quite amazing to see. Still deciding. Timeout kippery, ban kippery, delete message. Can't make up my mind. Really? We check. I doubt we get to fold here. Too much money in the middle. Okay, it's not the most brutal way to lose this, which would have been the king-queen. Oh. Here after we saw a check on the flop, I think it's fine for us to lead the turn. Get raised, really? Why? Check on the flop. Why do you check behind on the flop too? Alright. Here we turn the nuts. Always a welcome sight. And get a check. Might be the overpair. No, the queen 7. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, 7s or the queen 7 makes a lot of sense. Give it a shot. We do have Eli to our left who overvalues hands, but he has two peeps left tag behind him. Might get rid of queens, jacks this way. What happened here? Got a pretty quick call. All right. Kipri has to do some work. Alright, see you later, my friend. Looks like you had a good session, I believe. Cheers. What happened? I opened, alright. Didn't get snap called. If he had, just check. Works. Nope. That's too bad. King high flush, yeah. Up here, we opened, called the 3-bet naturally. King or jack turns? Nah. Heart will be quite big by the turn. Doubtful we have enough fold equity, should we even turn lucky. Top pair, open end or rainbow board. A whole bunch of blockers. Alright. We got a rainbow board, and given all the sidecars blocking continuation ranges, I think the chances are not that bad that we get a fold here. Often enough. At this point, we're not folding much that not folding out much that beats us. Although we do fold out like Jack, Jack 10, Queens. Let's give it a shot. For that reason, targeting these hands pretty much. Down here, wait, down here. There, got our flush draw. Sounds alright. Chi-ching, no, no. Yeah, you missed the splash where I would have wanted a one buy-in splash, 20 euros in the middle, and I misclicked and folded on the flop with an open-ender. It's surprisingly it remained a limp pot with post-flop play. Nobody raised pre. It was weird. Good to see you back, Chi-ching. Is work still as busy? Or is it... You know what? I think work should be ending, right? Let's fold it around to us. And we block the nuts quite handily. Good raised, however. You would have made more money by calling. But there's no way for you to know that. A pair, a wrap, a check. So far, so good. Ah, the king 10. Okay, that's 1 pip better than ours. King jack 10-10. Quite alright. Wow. A pair from the board is a nice bonus here. Yeah, aces, come on, really? Right away? Wow, and you have the jack too. Ah, good for you, my friend. Keep getting the money in alright for the overwhelming part. Getting rewarded that much for it this session. Oh, well. About that preflop call though. We were in... Where were we in? Were we under the gun? Really? Talking about the king jack 10-10. Checking sounds good. It looks like we were. I think one player was missing, so let's give us the MP and check it out. Do we get to call after the race? Really? It's the second time our blockers are not being believed. Here, however, we... I think here with the open-ender ourselves and the flush draw, we do want to see the river. Not too happy about it. Yeah, that's fine. The king jack 10-10 gets raise called, all is well. And he did have all the other queens. Damn. Pro streamer right there. Yeah, you're too late. I've been saying that already. Yeah, let's just say it happened and now it's done. Happy to hear that it's done. Ching. Been there, endured that. And that was absolutely correctly played, in case you're wondering. I just wanted to double check. The ace king king 8 is a 3-bet and a 3-bet fold. This is pretty much the same scenario, a similar scenario, where we raise fold. I believe the same is a good approach to the flop, the turn. Certainly fit our story to bet again. Give it a shot. Now it's an interesting question math-wise. Any 6 and any 10 presumably, or gives us the nuts often enough. Is it worth it then? Nah. Because the 6 doesn't always give us the nuts, the 10 doesn't give us the nuts always. Sad face. Front and backdoor flush draw. Wow, apparently the Nightbot has been waiting for that exact moment to get spammy. Jesus. Interesting turn. Up here we pick it up by beating a 10 with a better kicker with better 2 pair in the end. Take it down with the aces. By the way, in that spot where the ace turned, I don't see bet there again habitually. It just fit our story, and I think there are even enough players out there that can throw away like an ace queen in this hand, given the lines we've taken. I'm not sure how bad I should feel about having lost that one. Nope. Nut flush draw is about come draw to add.